The community consensus is in. The official Starfleet Academy series looks like 90210 in space. But as a fan since 1987, I know that Starfleet isn't a social club. It's Earth's service to the stars. I'm not just joining the chorus of critics. I'm going to show you how to do it right. I'm pitching you my version of a Starfleet Academy series. Noble, dignified, and strategically designed. More than that, I'm using this project to teach you the logistics of being a series creator, from the architecture of a pilot episode to the high-stakes mentorship of the famed TV series model. Let's build the show we actually deserve. Before we get to the story itself, we need to talk shop. You'll notice things look different around here. I'm leveling up the aesthetics of this channel to give you a better experience. I'm building out my fourth wall site to function like a dedicated streaming service and merch hub. One place for all my content and gear. This isn't just about looking professional, it's about being professional. Because to be a series creator today, you have to understand the package. When you approach a network, you need a written pitch because it proves your show has what the industry calls legs. The ability to sustain not just 5 episodes, but 5 seasons. A professional pitch incorporates several key elements. The log line. Your show's DNA in one sentence. The hook that makes an executive lean forward in their chair. The world building. Why San Francisco? Why this era? Why now? You have to justify your setting both creatively and logistically. The character Bible. Not just names and physical descriptions, but their flaws, growth arcs, and most importantly, their philosophical perspectives. Episode springboards. Short summaries that prove the concept works. You need to show you can generate 100 episodes, not just a handful. But here's the secret weapon, the sizzle reel. This is a 2 to 3 minute video using existing footage and music to sell the vibe of your show. It's the visual heartbeat of your pitch. I use AI tools to generate these reels, creating a mood board that shows the network the cinematic, dignified tone, the weight of the uniform, before a single frame is ever filmed. Now, let's talk about the plot itself. Amateur creators think a pilot is just episode 1, but its true purpose is as a proof of concept. It has to demonstrate your engine, the character chemistry, the moral stakes, the dramatic tension in a single hour. It's the most expensive and scrutinized episode you'll ever make because it has to convince the network that everything you described in your pitch actually works in motion. Part of proving that engine works is establishing your standing sets. Successful series need familiarity. The Enterprise was the anchor for the original series. That ship was the show. For our academy, we need the command briefing room, the cadet commons, and the simulation control hub. These aren't just rooms, they're recurring environments that ground both the budget and the audience. They create a sense of home. And here's where the logistics get smart. By setting the show in San Francisco, we ground the production in a real, recognizable location. We can use existing brutalist and modern architecture as Starfleet buildings. This creates a contemporary future look that respects the budget while looking like it cost $1 million credits. When we do need to show other worlds, we use the simulator and holodeck, which from a production standpoint are genius. They allow us to create infinite environments with minimal physical footprints using LED volumes or green screen technology. This is where most modern shows fail completely. Amateurs create characters for aesthetics or to check demographics boxes. Professionals create characters for perspective. Look at the legendary triumvirate of Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. They weren't just three guys on a bridge. They were a psychological architecture. Spock represented logic, the objective, utilitarian perspective. McCoy represented emotion and humanism, the passionate moral voice. Kirk represented the decision maker, the synthesizer who had to weigh both perspectives to find a solution. Every episode became a debate between these three worldviews, and the audience got to see every angle of a problem before Kirk made his choice. That's what made it brilliant. I'm modeling our 7-character ensemble on legacy archetypes. We're using the Fame TV series model, that 1982 to 87 TV series about the High School for Performing Arts. We'll get to know why Fame is the perfect blueprint in a moment, but first, let's talk about our cadets. We have the Saavik-style traditionalist, the cadet who's memorized every regulation, whose professionalism is actually a mask for their fear of the no-win scenario. They provide the Starfleet perspective and often clash with those wanting to do the right thing over the legal thing. We have the Chekhov-style prodigy, the youngest in the class, a tactical or navigational genius, eager to prove they aren't just a kid. Their arc is about learning that true dignity comes from humility and teamwork, not just being the smartest person in the room. And then there's the character the audience will identify with most, perhaps, the orphan. Think of Worf, Data, or Odo. These characters aren't just outsiders, they're seekers. They don't have a home, so they make Starfleet their home. Because the orphan wasn't born into this family, they're the most dedicated to earning a place in it. They don't just follow the Prime Directive, they study it like scripture. For them, failing out of the academy isn't just a career setback, it's an existential loss of the only family they've ever known. This creates stakes that are massive and deeply human. When this character faces a mission, they're fighting for everything they have. We also need the non-Federation outsider, a cadet from a system considering Federation membership who isn't in awe of Starfleet and points out the human-centric or Earth-centric biases, and the reconstructed cynic, someone from a rough frontier world where Starfleet didn't help, brilliant but skeptical of nobility. By giving every character a distinctive philosophical viewpoint, the conflict in our show remains plot-driven rather than falling into soap opera squabbles. The drama comes from their worldviews hitting a wall during a mission, not from who's dating whom. Now, let's talk about why the 1980 series Fame is the secret blueprint for a successful Starfleet Academy show. Fame succeeded because it focused on the discipline of the craft. It wasn't about teen drama, it was about what it costs to be a professional. The teachers in that show, Mr. Sharovsky, Lydia Grant, Mrs. Berg, and Mrs. Sherwood, weren't just background dressing. They were characters with their own high-stakes lives, and they represented different aspects of what it took to master the arts. I've designed 4 professors who represent the pillars of a Starfleet officer. This is what I call the dual-tier conflict structure. The Sentinel strategist, our Lydia Grant. This is the tactical instructor and field training officer who handles execution. Their perspective is, space is cold and it doesn't care about your ideals. They focus on the physical and mental grit required to survive. They're the one who designs the brutal simulator missions to see which cadets break under pressure. As they might say, you want to wear that delta? Then you need to trust the cadet next to you, regardless of what planet they were born on. Next character, the philosopher sovereign, our Mr. Sharovsky. This is the professor of galactic ethics and history who handles the internal, the soul of the mission. They believe Starfleet's greatest weapon is its restraint, its commitment to the principles that the Federation represents. In a Prime Directive episode, this instructor is the one who forces the cadets to defend why they should intervene, playing devil's advocate to test their moral steel. The administrator, our Mrs. Berg. This is perhaps a retired Master Chief who served under Sulu or Chekhov, someone who's been at the Academy for 40 years. They provide the institutional memory. They know every rule, every loophole, and how to navigate Starfleet Command bureaucracy. They represent the dignity of the institution itself. The xenologist, our Sherwood. This is the professor of comparative xenology, an encyclopedia of alien cultures. They provide the intellectual friction. While cadets want to be in the simulator practicing tactical maneuvers, this professor is forcing them to spend 10 hours studying the nuances of an obscure Vulcan dialect, or the social rituals of a pre-warp civilization. As they might say, a phaser is useless if you don't understand who you're pointing it at. Here's where it gets interesting. These professors don't always agree, and their dialogue scenes are where we explore what it truly means to be an officer. Imagine this exchange. The philosopher character says, "If we strip away their empathy in the name of tactical readiness, we aren't training officers, we're training weapons." The Sentinel character replies, "And if that empathy causes them to blink when a Romulan warbird decloaks, then I'm the one who has to write the letters to their parents. I don't need them to feel, Professor. I need them to survive." They aren't arguing about grades. They're arguing about what kind of person should be allowed to captain a starship. And here's the crucial part. If they pass a cadet who isn't ready, it's not just an academic failure. It's a future threat to the security of Earth and the Federation world Starfleet serves to protect. Remember, Star Trek often depicted threats to Earth or Starfleet Command. There were always larger repercussions. In my series, that weight falls on these instructors. The future of Earth service, and by extension, the stability of the Federation that relies on Starfleet, depends on whether these cadets can hack it. This places an immense, dignified burden on the faculty. This is exactly what made FAME work. The teachers knew the cost of the industry. Our instructors know the cost of command. By having these distinctive viewpoints among both cadets and faculty, our show focuses on plots rather than merely soap opera drama. This is 21 Jump Street at warp speed. It's gritty, professional, and high stakes. And we have precedent for this. James T. Kirk himself was an Academy instructor. His own student, Gary Mitchell, described him as a stack of books with legs. My series honors that legacy. The conflict in our show is the curriculum. We're exploring the foundational lessons that Kirk and his crew clearly mastered before they ever stepped onto the bridge of the Enterprise. Let me give you some episode premises that prove this concept has legs. Our first premise, the Prime Directive test, a simulation where our orphan and our traditionalist must watch a civilization fall to a natural disaster because Starfleet's General Order Number 1 demands non-interference. They can't save them. They have to watch tragedy unfold and carry that weight. This isn't about being a hero. It's about being a guardian of principles. The conflict, personal trauma versus professional duty. The mirror of xenophobia, our next premise, set in San Francisco. An exchange student from a non-Federation world faces harassment from a local anti-alien group. Our cadets must intervene without using Starfleet authority to bully civilians. They're learning the diplomacy first mindset. The real story addresses friction within Earth society itself and the challenges the Federation ideal faces. How do 100 different cultures learn to trust one another when their lives are on the line? Next premise, the Kobayashi alternative, a simulation where cadets aren't tested on combat but on a logistics failure. They must decide who stays behind to maintain a failing life support grid so others survive. It's a test of character, not tactics. It's about learning that self-sacrifice might be required of them. Next premise, the internal frontier. A cadet discovers a flaw in a senior officer's tactical record. They must choose between loyalty to the uniform and loyalty to the truth, mirroring the high stakes of the Next Generation's episode, The First Duty. This explores whether Starfleet's honor culture can survive honest accountability. Next episode, The Weight of the Badge. The Prodigy and Legacy cadets are paired for a survival drill in the Sierra Nevada mountains. When their gear fails for real, they must lead a group of civilian hikers to safety without using technology. It forces them to demonstrate command dignity using only their wits and values. These aren't kiddie pranks. This is the forging of Starfleet officers. The best Trek worked because the drama was a result of the mission. My version treats the holodeck and simulators as high-stakes crucibles where these cadets face the impossible positions that will define them as future captains. We don't need manufactured teen angst. We have the weight of the galaxy on these cadets' shoulders. By prioritizing complex plots over soap opera squabbles, you build a show that maintains an audience because it treats them with respect. Now, here's something crucial that separates a professional pitch from a fan concept. You have to prove to the network that there's an audience for the show. Who's going to watch it? Why will they keep watching? What's the market? Let me break down the demographics for a noble, dignified Starfleet Academy series. The core Trek fan base. These are viewers like me who have been here since 1987 or even since 1966. We're not kids anymore. We're adults with disposable income who are hungry for Trek that respects our intelligence. We don't need to be talked down to. We want the philosophical depth, the moral complexity, the curriculum of conflict that made us fall in love with this franchise in the first place. This demographic is loyal, vocal, and willing to subscribe to streaming services for quality content. The next demographic, the prestige drama audience. People who watch shows like The West Wing, The Crown, or Succession. They're looking for intelligent, character-driven drama with high production values. By using the FAME model and focusing on institutional excellence rather than teen angst, we're positioning this show as a prestige drama that happens to be set in this Star Trek universe. That opens a much broader audience than just sci-fi fans. Next demographic, the military academy drama fans. There's a proven audience for shows about professional training institutions. Think Top Gun Maverick, which appealed to adults who appreciated seeing competence and discipline portrayed with dignity. Our show fills that same niche. It's about excellence, not about adolescent rebellion. Next demographic, the underserved Trek demographic. Here's the reality. Recent Trek has skewed towards either action-heavy spectacle or relationship-focused drama. There's a massive, underserved audience of viewers who want what made the original series and The Next Generation and even Deep Space Nine and Voyager successful. Thoughtful science fiction that uses the future to examine contemporary issues through a lens of optimism and human potential, grounded in the professionalism of Starfleet service. And here's the unique selling proposition. By setting the show at the Academy with young characters, you attract younger viewers, but by making it about something substantive, about ethics, duty, and the burden of command, you keep the audience, the adult audience, engaged. You're not choosing between demographics. You're you're bridging them. This isn't a niche show. This is a show that can maintain an audience for 5 seasons because it's designed around sustainable, plot-driven storytelling with universal themes. Now, let's talk about something else that amateurs often ignore: respecting the budget. A great creator isn't just visionary, they're fiscally responsible. By setting the show in San Francisco, we ground the production. The Academy itself becomes our standing set, our anchor. Just like the Enterprise was the recurring home for Trek, our Command Hub and Cadet Commons allow us to tell high-stakes stories without building a new world every week. When we do need to show other worlds, we use the simulator and holodeck. From a production standpoint, the simulator is a genius story engine. It allows us to create infinite environments with minimal physical footprints using LED volume technology or green screen. Shooting in San Francisco means we can use existing architecture as Starfleet buildings, that contemporary future aesthetic without massive soundstage construction. We can film actual location shots around the city to establish our world. And here's the key. By focusing on character-driven drama, on the curriculum of conflict, the tension is in the dialogue, not just CGI explosions. This isn't just a creative choice, it's a logistical one. It ensures we put the money where it belongs, on the screen, in the performances, and in the noble, dignified tone that keeps the audience coming back. Less reliance on expensive post-production means more budget for what matters: great writing, great acting, and production value where it counts. Now, there are several other crucial elements that professional network pitch needs to include. Let me walk you through what separates a complete package from an incomplete one. The series arc versus episodic balance. Networks need to know, is this a serialized show or episodic? My answer, both. Each simulator mission is episodic, making it easy for new viewers to jump in. But the character growth, watching our orphan find their family, watching our prodigy learn humility, that's serialized. This gives you a best of both worlds: accessibility for casual viewers and emotional investment for dedicated fans. The 5-season arc. You can't just say this could run forever. You need to show a roadmap. Season 1, first-year cadets learning the fundamentals. Season 2, second year, where they start specializing and the stakes get higher. Season 3, third year, where they begin teaching younger cadets and facing leadership challenges. Season 4, final year, the Kobayashi Maru and graduation looming. Season 5 could even follow some graduates in their first assignments while introducing new cadets. You show the network there's a natural endpoint, which paradoxically makes them more likely to greenlight it. Franchise integration and IP synergy. This is huge for Star Trek specifically. How does our show connect to the larger universe? We can have cameos from established characters as guest stars. We can reference historical Trek events in our history classes. We could even have our cadets encounter a younger version of a character who will become famous later. The network loves this because it creates cross-promotional opportunities and keeps the broader fan base engaged. Merchandising and ancillary revenue. A network pitch isn't just about the show, it's about the ecosystem. Our Academy setting is perfect for merchandise. Academy uniforms, division badges, simulator props, even textbooks from the various classes. Young viewers want to wear the uniform. Adult collectors want high-end replicas. The standing sets become iconic locations for tours if there's ever a studio experience. You're not just pitching a TV show, you're pitching a brand. The competition analysis. you need to show you understand the landscape. What shows are you competing with for eyeballs? More importantly, what gap in the market are you filling? I'd point out that there is no current show offering prestige Trek, thoughtful, adult-oriented science fiction with production values. The Expanse ended. Newer Trek has gone in different directions. There's a void, and we're filling it. Production timeline and deliverables. Be specific. We can deliver a pilot in X months. A full season takes Y months. Show you understand the rhythm of production. For our show, the standing sets mean faster turnaround. The simulator missions mean we can shoot multiple locations without moving the production. We could potentially deliver 12 to 15 episodes per year, which is gold for a streaming service that needs content flow. The showrunner vision. Even if you're not the showrunner yourself, you need to articulate what kind of creative leader this show needs. Someone who understands both the philosophical depth of classic Trek and the production demands of modern television. Someone who can balance the fame model of mentorship drama with the sci-fi elements. This shows the network you're thinking about the actual execution, not just the idea. Crisis management and flexibility. What if your lead actor leaves after season 2? With an ensemble cast and the Academy setting, the show can survive cast changes. Cadets graduate, new ones arrive. This built-in flexibility is a selling point because networks are terrified of shows that collapse if one element fails. And here's something that often gets overlooked, the tone document. This is a 1 or 2 page document that captures the exact feeling of the show through comparisons. It's The West Wing meets Star Trek. It's Fame in space, but with the philosophical depth of The Good Place. These reference points help executives who are reading dozens of pitches immediately understand what makes yours different. All of these elements together create what's called a Bible, a comprehensive document that proves you've thought through every angle. It shows you're not just a dreamer, you're a planner. And that's what gets shows made. I'm not just a fan with an opinion. I'm a creator with a plan. I've been following Star Trek since 1987, and I know we can do better than what we're getting. This is the Starfleet Academy that represents the fan who's been here for decades. A show about character, ethics, and what it truly means to earn that uniform and serve Earth's mission to the stars. A show that understands the difference between soap opera drama and plot-driven storytelling. A show that knows the best conflicts come from characters with distinctive philosophical perspectives facing impossible moral choices. If you want to see the AI-generated sizzle reels I'm creating for this concept or explore the other series Bibles I'm developing, head over to my Vimeo page and check out my Fourth Wall site for the new streaming style experience and exclusive gear. Links are in the description below. I'm building a home for serious creators and serious fans. This channel is evolving, and I want you to be a part of that journey. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the most important quality in a Starfleet captain? Mercy or tactical genius? Knowledge of alien cultures or combat readiness? What plot-driven mission would you want to see these cadets face in the Academy curriculum? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Let's build this conversation together. Live long and prosper.